When China Internet nationwide financial services debuted in August, there was at the time only about a half dozen Chinese firms that had gone public in the U.S. this year, according to data from NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange. But in the months that followed, that number surged. By December, more than 20 Chinese companies had listed. It's the largest number of Chinese listings in the U.S. since 2010, when a record 39 Chinese companies went public, according to IPO auditor Markham, Bernstein and Pinchuk. Since the record number of Chinese IPOs here 7 years ago, the number of Chinese listings have plummeted following a series of accounting scandals, suspensions and delistings that kept U.S. investors wary and Chinese companies at bay. But that is changing. Part of it is due to improved accounting and transparency, as well as more attractive valuations in the U.S. But there's another key difference, says Dan McClory of Bowstead Securities, which underwrote 3 of the Chinese IPOs this year.
So now the resurgence is related to Chinese companies coming to market in the U.S. with Chinese investors. So these companies aren't just coming to the U.S. and thinking they're going to have capital thrown at them. They're coming, with their checkbook already full from investors in China who are closer to the company, who know and understand it better, and who are, in a lot of cases, better long-term fits.
Drew Bernstein concurs. He is co-managing partner at Markham BP, which audited 5 of the Chinese listings this year.
A lot of the more recent IPOs, they've had this little nuance to them in the sense that they've had some of these really stellar companies or brand name companies participating as shareholders. So you've had Tencent, Alibaba, Baidu, all participating as shareholders in some of these recent IPOs, which I think adds some credibility, to them from the investors' side.
This makes it a win-win situation for the Chinese companies, as well as their investors on both sides of the Pacific. Market observers expect the trend to continue well into the new year. Liling, CGTN, New York.